chamber, making up part of this defender's side, which will have to deal with the pace and the passion of BBL, already firing themselves up down on the stage there, getting ready to send it into mid.
Well, Woot identified to the recon, but doesn't want to use his TP just yet as BBL aren't as explosive as what we usually expect from them, waiting to pay attention to all the small details on the map so far.
Benji on high alert here with the molly out. A couple players in backside B to support if required, and the orb refilling Toxin. Kreven on a bit of a pre-fire there, actually catches him sleeping. There are numbers hanging around here that can support, and Koshmaris has already found one, but the trade's not quite there for them just yet. Rian's finding one of his own. Shock should be good for damage. It doesn't drop any more off of Lover's Rock.
Yeah, but look at this. Heretics have numbers in place.
Paranoia comes in. Nice shot from Rian still to just keep stalling them out. And the cavalry failing to arrive means that BBL clean house. And with that first round racked up already, this attack has momentum.
It certainly does. Lover's Rock looking pretty decent. Kreven, probably the biggest superstar so far that we've seen in Stage 1. He had some really good games. Lover's Rock has been leaving a lot to be desired. In this pistol round, it's good signs of life for the Turkish Stage 1 winners.
Coming out of kickoff with a trophy.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, thank you.
I'll be hoping that they can turn it around to a Stage 1 win. And I think what you mentioned is really important to note. Kreven obviously having some good performances so far.
Yeah.
And everyone on this BBL side can do it to you. It's what we're talking about when we speak of these high skill ceilings. But some of the comps, some of the reads that they've had on the meta, it's making it a little bit difficult to find that value sometimes when things don't go their way. This round, though, fairly simplistic as the A site is conceded by Heretics.
The thing is, though, you've got Kreven still locking out, but that's good shots from Woot, good damage. Do they realise about Kreven's late lock, though?
Lover's Rock, careful not to get caught here, pushed up.
Oh. Ooh, with a quick double. This is not as convincing as what I thought it would be. And BBL stuck with only pistols right now. Don't get a chance to upgrade to anything else. And in fact, doesn't really work out. Team Heretics with a chance of a thrifty round. And Koshmaris' Marshall will make them pay. A big mistake from BBL.
Yeah, it's a real frustrating way to go on the BBL side. Getting a buy instantly in and then melted down to a puddle beneath their feet. Heretics hitting some nice shots. And those are the individuals that they possess as well. Woot here getting it started. Koshmaris coming into this team. Took a couple of games, but his confidence really lifting off by the end of the group stages. And nice to see that tracking at least to kick this one off.
Yeah, the end of it was actually...
Let's go!
It's actually Heretics with a better weapons in their hands in that 2v2. As BBL comes straight back in with 3 rifles.
Yeah, they've gone sort of all in on this one. Couple of sheriffs, and this could really put their money in a place of financial ruin if they're not careful. You can see the setup in middle. Woot's got the cross kept. And Rose isn't as lucky as Loiter. He doesn't have a TP. He can't cross this one safely, so...
You can see there's a bit of worry from BBL about this line that Woot has picked up. But it is the sights on towards A still right now. In fact, Rose, maybe trying to fake this one out right now.
Yeah, I mean, BBL want to draw as much utility as they can. Boo in play, still with a slow in pocket. Benji and Molly on the other side, and well, Woot does actually end up dropping. Larok finds that first opening pick. Hitting the 40-second mark here. BBL still not really gaining much ground other than A main. That's when Heretics start to react middle.
Yeah, they're reacting, but it's to their detriment at this point in time. With Kreven getting caught, that could be a signifier, but instead, no, Koshmaris heads towards B. They're going to be a little bit light on stopping this plant, so we go into post.
Koshmaris is actually here to defend the A site as Heretics are making that rotation slowly, just wondering if there's a second layer hanging around in middle. Not much utility left on the BBL side to actually stave this off.
Yeah, there is, and at least the smoke goes up to try and buy Lover's Rock a bit of space, but Heretics know that's what the experience is for. to make sure that they don't get caught off guard. Loiter able to grab a rifle, but it's cost him his life, maybe cost the round, as Rose gives his best attempt, but it's Heretics to double up the rounds, and BBL, they pushed all their chips to the middle, and they're in financial ruin.
Yeah, it's an important round for Heretics and for Rienz as well. I think he's actually clocked that the wall behind him has reached that milestone of 2,000 kills. Of course, Benji reaching 2,000 himself in their previous series. He had been there for a stage longer with LCQ back in 2023, but I think this is something I want to come on to talk about as well. Rienz being a player who is sometimes reliant upon on the Heretics side.
I think that's it, right? And he's not been shining to the level that we normally... Heretics, good start. BBL, once again,
I'll show them.
Gambling on themselves, buying into this next round.
It just means that the Outlaw of Woot can cut through them very quickly. It's Boo the first line of defense, and Woot burning through. One TP already, one bullet left in the chamber. And the next one already holstered here, trying to whip it back out and find that shot, but Lovers Rock quicker to it, and actually, it does settle in a 4-on-2 now. Both players retaking from middle. In the corner to be cut out, and Benji will find that opening kill untraded.
Well, and you can already see BBL looking to play from main, but Larocque left all alone on an island.
The residual on site. He is the first sign of contact here, or should be, on the BBL side of things. Lovers Rock looking to try and get involved here, and Larocque turns his head. No trade again. Another kill back into this fight for Heretics. Now into a 2-on-2 situation, and Rien's still considering the possibility of a late wraparound from middle. Heretics really not fully certain on what the picture looks like right now, and that's the biggest of issues. But when Benji gets onto the defuse early, his hand's busy. Rien's able to bail him out, and so Heretics will win the 2v4.
We were asking questions. I was asking questions right there. What have BBL been working on? And the answer is, I'm not seeing the work in action. That's a post plan that they should have easily finished out. You said it, 4 versus 2. Team Heretics given the opportunity to just dissect.
Enemy remaining.
Backs firmly to the wall. You could just see how frustrated Key is. That's the thing. We're talking about a team which were always the protagonists themselves. Always the ones feeling they were in control.
Yep.
Not every one of them providing the best set of circumstances, but Heretics certainly profiting from the situation so far. It's times like this where Woot is really going to thrive, being able to take these aggressive fights, and so his op is here again, ready for it, and with a wall dropped in behind, no going for BBL right now, except for that kill in middle.
Yeah, Krevin, though, takes a stop, makes Team Heretics worry, and BBL, right now, already second-guessing themselves.
Just calling for a freeze. For a rotation back around off of Kreven's positioning here.
Yeah, but Team Heretics haven't really moved off the back of what BBL have done. So at this point in time, you're still hitting into a site that has 2 strong players.
That's got to be the call at times. You don't want to leave one player behind to anchor by themselves. We've seen how difficult that can be on Breeze in the past. Blades drawn here for Lovers Rock, and yeah, it is the B execution we're going to get from BBL.
I mean, you've got to really be relying on Lovers Rock Blades, right? No updraft, no dash. He's going to have to run into sight.
It's just the smoke to try and cross. Recon bolt cocked back from Rose, and Lovers Rock trying to make his way towards backside now, jumping out of the smoke. Brilliant catch from Rienz. Follow-up equally clean. Benji with a couple of his own, and it's light work for Heretics.
This is what we expect of Heretics. BBL, not even with a chance of a spike plan. It just goes to show, right? I know it's an equal round, but really your hopes and dreams are put on Lovers Rock, and well, he had a great pistol round since then. We've not really seen him
Let's go, bro!
pop up as much. Operator back out for him, though, on the attack.
Yeah. Has been a bit of a crutch at times, but if it can get them going here, it's exactly what BBL need. Huge exchange potentially coming up between him and Woot. Boo just shouldering the mid control with his wall up. Lovers Rock not gifted any peeks at this stage in the round.
BBL haven't really taken a lot of space, really, right? Apart from the mains, and that's why Koshmaris is starting to encroach in this position.
Benji too.
The reclear comes through, stops it, but they don't know about Benji. Sure, the Neon identified, but this position is going to be a real issue in BBL. Yeah. They're deciding for the path of least resistance.
It's going to be huge in the late round as well, because Heretics are fully calling the rotation off the back of this. Boo the one in charge of it. And with this cheeky angle on the wall as well, the site is spring-loaded. BBL are walking into trouble here.
It's going to be an issue, right? How do you even trade off this? But Woot has the TP as well.
30 seconds
and with
left.
the utility sent in, Woot's now calling for support, calling for that rotation from the last player on towards B. Doesn't hit the shots. Loita does. Good trade overall. So on a 4-on-4, I mean, BBL can get into post.
Heretics still have backside control here. Got to be thinking about Kreven late through middle.
Yeah, they've also got retake ultimates, and the fact that Koshmaris did have his ultimate, but that's a huge kill from Lovers Rock. The Neon now doesn't have that overdrive that we were expecting for it to be used. Benji trying to wrap round the Viper that was in middle. This is all on ones at this point in time. And Kreven might have just won this round. Rienz, though, good as he is, Loita up close, gets through it cleanly. Okay, this clutch is on.
Bad plant
yeah,
here.
It certainly is. The Molly, good! Lovers Rock up even better. And BBL back in this one.
It's certainly not pretty, but BBL get through the round bruised. Get through the round regardless. Heretics had the perfect setup to counter them there, but Woot misses his initial duel. And even in the site, the back of it that they were able to fortify, that second layer from Kreven makes all of the difference later into the round.
Let's go!
Gotta be wary of these kind of situations, though. That individual talent can't bail them out every time, and with some big pieces up now for Heretics as well.
You want to play? Let's play.
One of them, the tour de force in A main.
Straight up B hit, but there is 3 bodies strong for Heretics. They're ready and waiting. Woot even catching out Loita. And it's just completely stopped before it's even started.
It's the Turkish default. They're pushing every lane at once. The spike was headed A-wards. Woot has already cut that one off, and Lovers Rock can't get involved. Neither can Rose with this op. They're just looking for a single entry point. And it's looking like the B side.
Kreven even found out here as well.
Yeah, Heretics have the info on all 3 players in this position right now. And so they do just fully lean on this side of the map with the trademark still up in Nest, Boo playing off it, Woot on this deep line in A main, and the wall to just cut off double doors. That's the one area that could find itself exposed as the round drags on and that wall expires.
Do you want Lovers Rock coming through double doors by himself, though, with the spike on his back? I mean, he still has an entry utility in that dash and double smokes.
Well, Cairo, we're arriving at the point of no return. I think BBL actually are just going to call to cancel this one in full.
30 seconds left.
The initial play to go back to what we saw from them in kickoff. I think people will remember how their Abyss looked when they were able to push multiple lanes at once, but that's so much easier to do when you're running a Waylay and a Yoru, when you've got those TPs that you can just refract or hop straight out of there. It's far more costly to invest those player numbers with this composition. And into the chamber again, Woot has been doing a pretty decent job, honestly.
Yeah, he has. And I think, like, I agree, and to follow your point with the Waylay and Euro, sure, you can do it with other agents, but then the focus is purely on the individual and winning the one-on-one, which at this moment in time, for the past, 5 games, BBL have not really been winning their individuals. And I understand it, right? But to a point, when do you start to really question the system that BBL have built up and why we haven't seen, I'm not calling for an overhaul because that's too much in a week, but at least some changes to it.
Looking at their map pool as it stands, if there was any hope for a Masters run, the one good one left standing, I think, would be Breeze. A 13-5 win against Vitality in the penultimate week of groups.
But was that Vitality playing so poorly, or was that BBL playing well?
The map does still lend itself to their strengths in a way, allowing Lovers Rock to stay on comfort with this Jet. The op out again here on this attack side as it's paired up with Larok, slowly making their way out of elbow into middle. Gotta be watching for Kosh in this corner.
Yeah, he's ready. He's so aware, and Larok gets a chance to fight, but there's no tradability, there's nothing.
No, it's the op just hanging back. No way to trade that.
And now BBL are left scratching their heads. Where do we go, guys? There's pings, and it looks as if Lovers Rock is going to take up position through tunnel. But, I mean, is there anybody you can really fight? Not really. Team Heretics are playing close quarters.
Take a while for Loiter to arrive here in main too. It's a split on site, a 4 versus 2 here for BBL.
Benji, aware, Molly prepared, and so ready for it. And knows about the second player, but can't win. So Rien's left alone inside, playing from the choke and winning out. A 3 versus 2 in which Heretics are favoured.
Yeah, both players getting a kill, but this pick coming up could be an issue. Kosh still with the ult, but Woot on this operator. I think actually Boo should be looking for a res here to just make it a 4v2 and give them that bit of extra security, and there it is.
Yeah. Benji, back up. That wall won't have much of an effect.
Hit of his own.
Yeah, can bring in that pit, and that's the big aspect. Loiter waiting for his timing and is going to take it. The players of Heretics don't know as they walk into Greven's pit. He dies, and his pit is down. So onto the spike defuse, and Loiter with 35 points of
health. Left it too late.
Trying to go through the pit, but it just doesn't work out. A questionable choice, in Heretics now find himself up to 6 with plenty more runway for more.
I mean, the slow start, the slow rounds, symptomatic of the wider issues with BBL. Look at Loiter in that clutch. Feels uncharacteristic for him not to be backing his own ability there. Just hesitating, perhaps, assuming that the defuse wasn't in progress.
Boys. Let's go.
I don't want to go too deep into it in particular, but it's systemic across BBL right now, and just doesn't feel like they're testing Heretics at all.
100%, and look at Woot, hungry for more, in towards mid, and has already seen the jump spot.
Gotta go.
Loiter, he's making his rotation over. Is he going to walk straight into this?
No, he has TP'd across.
Oh, okay.
Not for the first time, but I was there with you, man. I mean, BBL had found so much success before from these pacey hits. Larok has his ult here, he's bought into a shorty, Rose Hunter's Fury. Are they going to gamble and full send it?
It seems to be the case with the ultimate and Lover's Rock. Phantom, but he's already dead, and they've identified the Neon from back. Larok still gets the kills, and that's important, because now they can settle on a post plan. But that spike taking time to go down allows Team Heretics to rotate.
Perfect change of pace from BBL, but another post plant that they have to win.
Yeah, but
Kreven's found that first kill.
And that's huge, because now a 2 versus 4, which, let's be honest, Heretics should never get back into. No ultimates and an operator in play. It makes it extremely awkward. There is a couple of players low, and that's where you start to favour Team Heretics, especially with a kill like that.
Last player
Oh, can't find Larok though, and that could just upset the full round on it right now. Yeah, I think Woot's already thinking about getting out with his own operator, if he can even find it. I don't think he's even going to be allowed to, as all the bodies sent forward. Loiter finally finishing it out, and BBL winning in a mode of thrifty, but has a, quick pace change. Team Heretics just maybe relying on their individuals too much in that round.
No, but potentially, I think Heretics had a fairly decent setup, but this is just what I wanted to see, but that's the bigger picture for me, for BBL.
Okay.
Going quicker at these sites, sticking to what worked for them in the past.
Yeah.
Micro play, being able to go off of one another. Big gamble to invest the ults, but they just needed something to get started.
I agree. I think like the kind of upset part of that round was Kosh maybe going into the smoke by himself. I mean, in his own right, he's been playing brilliantly, right? I think it was, what, top 3 in ACS or something like that.
Yeah, in the earlier weeks, I think it's in these last couple of games actually against the Turkish teams where he said he preferred to play against them, that's actually proved to not be the case. Thriving in the chaos, or so he would say, and with the heal already used by Boo, no chance for him to bring himself back up any higher than 21 HP. Lovers Rock firing off a shot from double doors, as BBL have given themselves mid-control. They're shaping up for an A-split as it stands, and Rose is just going to be sent over towards B, see if he can find a pick, create a bit of noise, but Heretics have got this bang on.
I agree with you, but if he's going to try and create noise and kind of do it that way, he's 20 seconds on his next start, and what's in the middle of main?
Yeah.
So how do you clear this?
I mean, it's just the drone, right? He's going to try and drone out here, make a little bit of noise, and see if that forces a reaction from Heretics. The bigger thing is, Heretics have just doubled down. They're keeping their feet in the sand, and Wu does manage to find one at the start, but doesn't get away with it. Laurok trying to converge from middle means that he's just stopped in the tracks by Boo, hitting Screamer after Screamer. He shuts them down. Ro's the only one left behind, and you can already see the flank coming in from Kosh. He has identified this op early. While he won't be able to take it down at the first time of asking, the follow-up is easy enough.
Yeah, the point I was trying to get to in that last portion of the round there, Hazza, was you've sent Rose to fake by himself, but that drone was integral in terms of clearing space towards the site exit. And that's why you're seeing corners like this get massive value for Boo. And again, fundamentally, BBL are just not living up to the standard that we expect of them. And coming out of the replays, you'll see, that's why Key's already going for a second timeout.
All of the basics and getting that right, and Benji always being very complimentary to that in the interviews that he was giving. So a chance for them to really pile on the pressure here with an 8th round defender side. The composition obviously playing to those strengths with this double Senti.
2 rounds would make a huge difference to BBL's chances in that second half. Considering they have started things on the attack on Breeze, we know that's the better of the 2 sides.
And Woot sighted early on B, so with this in mind, BBL actually considering the option of their favoured A take. It is a cancel.
BBL just indecisive, I think, as well.
At this stage in the round, the jury's still out. Bit of utility baited. They can hear the wall going up in mid. Boo has no slows left. And Woot playing around his rendezvous should still be expected on this left-hand side. So as players are creeping up back towards elbow, this is something they have to be cognizant of.
Should they clear it? I mean, Rose has no drone, has no dart. Would have to be straight up checking it dry, and it looks like that's going to be the case, giving Woot the chance for a kill. Yeah. So as the exec in, Woot's even going to reposition towards wall, given a chance to have another fight, but nobody walks into his crosshairs.
I think there was even a headshot through the wall there from Lover's Rock. Not enough to finish him off, though. Healed back up by Boo. And an opportunity for retake with Koshmaris having a full utility belt.
Kreven playing off the wall, and the spam trying to distract any players who will swing this. He's given a chance! Can't hit the shots! It's a disaster! Heretics now on the warpath, ready to finish out this round here and now! It's Rose left all alone. A 1 versus 4, the shot's good. Can he get the second one? He can, but not before Benji takes his head. Heretics up to 8 on BBL's pick.
Couple of times now, BBL have had no issue gaining access to the site. It's these post plants which continue to plague them. Brilliant coordination from Heretics on the way back in. Great start from Wu, and this is the perspective of Benji. Man. It's harsh on Kreven. But if this is the best that BBL have got, then you can see those wider issues again.
Bro, this Viper whiff like a... Bro!
Like a bro.
Like a bro.
He did whiff like a bro. Last chance here for BBL, though. This final round is mandatory for them to stay in the game, and Wu faces a target-rich utility that Boo has, that's where I can see it getting dangerous. And yeah, to go back to the Rose thing too, it does feel like with his performance dip and everyone else's, we're going back to the old Rose, the one that kind of has to build up everyone behind him.
Shadows traveling.
Heretics, of course, though, calling through this pistol themselves on the attack.
Bro, there is my elbow work. I don't want to TP.
Yes, we
I'll
will,
go
we
chill
will
a bit.
take it for you. One speak once.
One.
I'm holding mid. I got
Yeah,
two
but
for
Okay. Nice.
One more, maybe. Care,
Come in,
care,
go
care.
back to A after you clear elbow.
Okay, go.
Okay, go, guys. I will not come,
Escort
okay?
wood, escort wood.
Yeah.
I'm holding mid,
TP,
push
guys.
No
left.
hurry. Don't
Wait, I'll pick the big guy.
There is no hurry to do what we need to do.
I'm just holding mid, okay?
Do it properly.
Nice.
Come back when you
No.
can. Wait.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Tell me if you get spotted at any point.
We didn't get spotted. They opened all bomb B.
Can we run from here now?
Guys, care double door
Strong.
peek. I
Yeah,
hold
excellent.
left.
I opened smoke
Double
double.
door. One. Two.
Tell me when you get close, I will pick.
Yeah.
Honestly, you pick.
Wait down.
One.
I'm ready.
I have
Guys.
reveal in 10, guys.
You wanna wait for the reveal?
I mean, like 8.
yeah,
It
yeah.
will be come.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
It will come.
Winter
Yes,
clear
yeah,
main.
Wait to clear main.
Go
Yeah.
pick, Kosh.
One.
I bait you,
No.
go white. Like we play here white and we play.
Okay, I'm ready,
Guys,
guys.
let's
I'll
pick
put wall.
close.
You're gonna
Come
take
ready.
one.
One.
Gotta go.
Two.
Okay,
I
I
reveal
put wall,
side, guys.
I
Let's
put
go,
wall.
let's go.
On the side.
Wall up.
It's left side, left side. One.
Yellow.
Bro, yellow.
I walled it.
Suck it.
Just
I
get to
broke.
side, get to side.
They're probably next side. Four here. Bingo, bingo.
Heavy fight.
I'm coming.
Can you heal? Heal.
Can we Buddha?
Buddha. Can we aim mid side? Everyone
Yes,
main mid
yes,
side. Wall
yes.
down.
I am right now.
Guys, they are three right.
You play right after the smoke.
Yeah.
Three right.
Let's
Come
go.
on.
Wall up, wall up. Viper side, Viper side.
Right, close.
One more 50.
One more.
On me.
Nice! Let's go! Sit the fuck down!
Let's go.
They're sat. That's the thing at the end of the day. Heretics with a pistol round, bringing them closer to the end here. A massive round to get that finish line in sight.
Yeah, just 4 rounds now is what they require. BBL locked on 4 rounds of their own. And I think just listening to the comms, the big thing for me is how, in the mid-round, how composed Heretics are setting up for that final execution. And then when it gets chaotic, Benji, the prevalent voice there to actually set up what that final move is.
I agree, and BBL, for the most part, defensively did well, right? Getting LaRock in deep, he heard the footsteps, called for the rotation. It's just when it came to those gunfights, it was Craven, the only one really filling that kill feed.
Poison's off.
Next round, straight in, it's unrelenting stuff. Lovers Rock has an outlaw. He's on the other end of the map to the action right now, though, as Heretics are fully purchased up and ready to make their way to the A site yet again.
Already Deloitte taking so much damage. Lovers Rock being forced in towards an outlaw as well.
I think it's also where you speak of the inverse of that calling. Boo has maybe struggled with some of the quicker rounds, but when he can set it up the way that he wants, that is what is best for Heretics. And it has been a slow one to start, but Wu finally finds the catalyst. That is Rose gone. Outlaw is here on the BBL side.
Craven slowly making his way over as well. Does Heretics want to execute here? They still have time to go elsewhere?
I think they're fully committed. They
Yeah.
just don't have the map material to think about anything else. We cross 30 seconds and Lovers Rock has his first. Bullets
30
back
seconds
into the gun. An issue yet to be dealt with on the Heretics side, and Lovers Rock gets another, but has to dip out, and that's the biggest issue for him. Down to only a classic, a BBL classic in fact. But Heretics will make it double digits in the end.
Yeah, they're really making BBL hot, but not before BBL gets to put some of their own hot on towards Heretics. Right, a little bit of pain there in terms of the buy in the next round. It's not going to be as perfect as what they would have wanted.
Still a pretty good bonus though, I think, actually. 3 rifles, Outlaw coming up.
Enemy taken out.
Come here, baby!
Oh,
Wonder who that was directed to.
well, it's definitely not the guy in NA.
Not Baby Ben. But looking at it, I think it's a couple rounds where BBL have made a correct decision. They've just not maybe left themselves enough space on this defender's side for it to happen. Only Kreven here for the time being. Rotation swiftly in, but he's already dead. The first player falls.
Yeah.
The second not far behind. Kosh Maris, one at a time, playing in Boo with the bucket. And with 11 rounds set up for them, Heretics miles away from BBL right now in this race.
Yeah, that's it. It feels like men against boys right now in the server with Heretics and BBL, and it's sad to say, considering kickoff as well.
And I mean, and even the previous series. You look at BBL, you take one step back to that Fnatic game. The asterisk on it is the fact that they had a flawless group stage, but
Yeah.
the result yesterday put into context, the fact they took one hell of a beating across both of those maps, and now this one is looking equally as dominant. You're waiting for those signs of life to appear, as we were saying at the half-time, and I think...
Yeah, but Hazard, you can't give CPR to what feels like a corpse at this point in
Yeah,
time.
well, that's the thing, right? And that's why we're waiting to just see. We are waiting and waiting, and I think that wait might very well go on. Last time we saw Heretics play this map, in fact, I think it was 13-4 against Na'Vi in kickoff with this comp, and on the re-debut, maybe asking ourselves why they hadn't played it a little bit more.
Take flight.
Yeah, that is true, right? That is the question. I mean, but the thing is, though, it's not really been Heretics' fault for not playing it. They've actually been leaving it pretty late in the veto.
No, that is true.
And it's not been them really to ban it out that much. It's been their opponents. And sure, maybe leaving it to that third map was a mistake.
There's also sort of like the difference in scrims as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and maybe you don't feel that you're as good on the map as you actually end up being in officials, but final opportunity, Larok already missing out. That dynamic duo of him and Loiter, touted so heavily on their arrival to the VCT EMEA stage. But as it stands, kickoff feels like a flash in the pan, something which they've not been able to subvert. Lovers Rock just looking out in mid, but nothing going as it stands, and Heretics continuing to encroach on that lonely Kreven. Soul be anchor.
And that's the worst part, right? Not even... He has his molly, but not even an orb to help him either.
With the weight of the world on his shoulders, he drops back to the half wall. A smart decision, but it doesn't feel like there's any respite for BBL right now. Every angle peaked is an angle that you live and then die upon. Heretics diligently clearing the B site and having a post plant for themselves here again.
Yeah, and again with the Sage coming in, that Sentinel really proven to be an issue. BBL will have to try and retake with just 3. Sure, Rose is the initiation here, but he's missed his dart.
Shades of Mulsey. And so it goes from bad to worse. Rian's just ready to peek off of that initial contact, swing round the pillar. Kosh in there for the fight again. Kreven getting a couple, but needs a couple more. Boo dropping back to a deep-lying position. Cornered here with Woot to take the fight first. First tap of the spike, but the second peek is enough to secure it. Heretics with a gap of 8. Their opponent's map pick looking easy as ever.
Yeah, and BBL right now looking for that break. There's no more timeouts for them. They used a double timeout in that first half. Key will be very eager to be having a chat with his team.
Revealing area.
Considering stuff like this just going against...
Oh, no.
Come on! Have a word with yourself, BBS. Beat a man while he's down. Come on.
I mean, classic Andy. What can we say? Final one here. Final opportunity for BBL as Heretics have reached 12 rounds. Very early investment of the pit from Kreven to just fortify A main, and Heretics start to peel away, but not before embedding Benji Fishy in middle.
Yeah, Heretics, I think, are going for an around the world from the way the pings are looking. And already that drone used early to get information mid.
Do BBL get that extra info for themselves, though? Finally, they peek out of that pit. If Kreven were to drop it here, I think it would be a signal to Heretics that the rotation is in progress and Benji's going to get caught.
Looks like not even a chance to fight back, so advantage finally for BBL as they look to entry on towards site. And well, there's a couple players here as Lovers Rock shot. He doesn't even get a kill. At close range as well. And Rose now trying to use the lane to his advantage round the back of it. In fact, going for the jump. It's working out. Even re-ending his drone he can't get. So still 3-on-3 and spike plant going in.
Kosh ready to take this fight. All up and ready, Loiter full belt, Wu has another.
That he does, and Team Heretics bearing on down. It's a map win in the end on BBL's pick of breeze. One which Heretics haven't shown this stage.
And a difference of 9 rounds. A couple of really grueling losses. You see that one to Paper X at Champs. The other notable one was, of course, to BBL, the previous international roster, in Stage 2. This double duelist, although a different variation of it, is something that they've been running for a long time, though, as the attack begins in A main.
going for it. This Cypher, though, going to be an issue with kill traps, but Kreven can't even get them, get the kill that he wanted, right? And now this gives a chance for BBL to reset for the retake.
Yeah, both traps hit, no kills picked up. Looking at the retake, though, Larok has a net, and there is a reveal here from Rose as well. Both of them could be huge.
Larok just trying to use the barriers to stop anybody coming for a flank so they can just focus on the play in front of them, but they're not even going to get a chance. Caught straight in with Woot. So advantage towards Heretics. Benji, though, at least able to get his one. So it's up to the captain. It's up to the leader. Can he find what he's looking for? He finds re-ends at the very least. Absolutely swinging like a Ferrari here as Boo comes round. The captain of Heretics, he's taking a load of damage! But it's BBL to win the pistol in what feels like so important in turning things around.
And at long last, the captain rises to his feet for a Red Bull clutch. BBL have been waiting for a moment like that to just lift off the pressure. The round itself did not go their way at all. A really smartly played re-execution into tree from Heretics with some of their own utility. But Rose, diligent on the clear. It's little moments like this that can get you going back into this game.
Yeah, it is, but BBL also won the pistol on Breeze. Surely they don't let this one slip as well, right?
Do we have to go there, really? I mean, Lover's Rock does find the opener, so with the extra damage on Benji in mind as well, this should be everything that BBL need. Rose is that second layer, following up the mid play. A little scrappy onto Rians, but will not leave the body until it is full of holes like Swiss cheese. He wants one more, and he's gonna get it. Boo down in the end, and in-zone flawless makes that bonus tasty.
Feels like BBL have a fire lit under them now. We know exactly what happens when they start to play well, but again, pistol round and anti-eco, it's not what... It's not pass marks, right?
Sure.
We're waiting for the rifle rounds. That's where we're going to see the majority of this game won by. And Heretics get to come straight back in. With an outlaw in play, you can see that Heretics are going for the lesser of buys, would rather play for those heavy shields.
BBL backs to the wall, starting to show those signs of life we were asking for all of Breeze, but it has to continue here. Larok entrenched in the main play in B, and Loiter following up with a Spectre. 2 kills coming out of the SMG. And a man advantage now for the defense. They are quick on this proactivity. Back through market to cut off the second arm of the push, which was slowly swinging in at glacial pace. Boo offered a clutch himself here and has tools to approach it.
Only 1 TP though, really, to get by this barrier.
Well, it's about to go, so he can walk in now scot-free. Loiter really lingering on that angle a little longer than would have been hoped. Finally, Boo able to pluck up the Vandal from the pile of weapons.
Does have time.
Cover going out.
And again, he has a couple assets at his disposal. TP already been checked there. The fake Rose repositioning inside the smoke, and Kreven holding it down from the length of the speedway. So, with that in mind, BBL do bag the bonus.
Yeah, that's a massive component to this. We have seen very quick starts on Ascent. That's nothing out of character here, especially when you can do trap plays like that in B main. So far, though.
Yeah, and right now you're seeing the energy levels starting to get higher and higher for BBL, really getting into this game. And I think that has parallels to the momentum which we associate with their series record as well. When it's going great, it's going fantastic. When things start to drop off, where do you find that energy from? I think it's a big conversation that we've been having. And so it's something that I want to be looking at here if Heretics can find a way to answer back.
No, I 100% agree. But again, I think back to the Vitality game, not the best first map and able to bounce back with 2 of their own.
Only on pistols here, but Heretics have done pretty well to strip back some of this early mid control. Both of the setups from the Sentinels are on site though, as A is under duress right now.
well and ready for this tree hit as well.
You're actually wanting to fight into it by the looks of things, and Benji finds Lover's Rock sleeping on the market angle. He goes down in the Cypher, prying away at the B side of the map. Rose is interested, he's rotated, and that's another body over on the BBL side. One player less to hold on to A. Making their way through tree now, Rose does cut off that lurk, but the biggest focus has to be on the site. There's nobody there left to defend it for BBL.
Reiter's going for it.
He is the first out in heaven and very nearly spots the head of Koshmaris. A little bit of chip damage there as Heretics are in the 4 versus 3, but the health pool dwindling.
Well, it is, but the utility is hitting at the same time. Door closed, it has to be from heaven.
Yeah, well, actually, Heretics want to take this space for themselves, looking like maybe they want to fight into the doorway if they can. Damage onto Rose. He picks up the kill, but at a heavy cost. He's the one that gets dropped next, and so Kreven has to attempt this 1 versus 2.
9 bullets.
To keep that streak going. Looking to try and jump in here and see if he can drag a peek wide from Heretics as they're set up double in the Hells. Kreven down to 10, and Koshmaris sliding in. Upsets that streak of rounds, and I go back to what I was saying. Can BBL keep this up?
Yeah, BBL need to be careful that they don't over-rotate from when Heretics put on pressures through Benji, and he feels like he's going to be a massive component to how this default is going to work. The thing that BBL have is so much utility to stop fast hits.
Good job.
This is going to have to be a very slow attack side for Heretics. They're going to have to really use every component in the map that they can.
They've got to bleed that utility,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And on the flip side, BBL do not want to over-invest. You're sort of seeing in the last round as well, we're talking about Benji's lurks, and we know how vocal he is
Of course.
in those mid-rounds, so if they can get him into position, that means a lot, and already you can see taking B main space for themselves. Mid control again offered against the double center. You're expecting them to bunker, so this is a route which they will have access to, and there is that consistent threat of a split execution.
Not really utilizing mid right now. Our Heretics is mostly on entries towards the site. And you can already see with Lover's Rock so deep on A main, that's why you're not really seeing much of a movement. I mean, if anything, a deadlock moving towards B, which could be at the detriment of this defense.
Taking that timing just under the minute mark, and Lover's Rock thinking about a double dip. Both shots fail to connect. Benji already so far advanced in market again. This late deposit as Heretics look towards A once more.
Yeah, there's still that deadlock trap, the sonic sensor. If anyone
left.
comes through, it's going to have to be a trade game for Heretics right now. And that's a brilliant shot onto Koshmaris. Loita now trying to fill in that space, but having to give it up. And while Heretics will take their time coming in, the utility could, but spam not. Time getting low now, and there's importance put on getting that spike down. Players trying to deny. Time now on the 7-second mark. Spike plant being attempted. BBL, they'll deny it through the kills. And a massive round to answer straight back.
Couple ults invested on both sides there. BBL come out the other end better though, and they start to see that light at the end of the tunnel again. Op from Lover's Rock getting plenty of value, just chewing through Heretics. Line after line, a rolling retreat opted for. And it never felt like the attack side found that entry, that punishment of this aggression that they were hoping for. The fact that the operator is layered in there as well with all of this extra utility that you've got to claw past as well.
Nice!
I really like the ramp up on that nice.
Yeah.
In VCT, I didn't realize it's only their first against Eternal Fire the other day. So in the past, they have been the better of the two when it comes to having Woot and Rians involved. Ooh, thinking about a really aggressive TP here. Actually, maybe just to catch off the op line, but Lover's Rock is aware of it, and Rose following up unexpected.
Well, denial, but that is allowed for some scale up on B, but identified through Rose.
And it's these 5v4s where really BBL should have no issue closing out rounds, provided Heretics can't find a way through that first wave of utility. Lover's Rock sat a little deeper as Kreven invites them towards his site, but B under lock and key, in zone flawless for BBL, and that will make it 5 on the defense.
That it will. I mean, I want to talk about the history of the map. It was more defender-sided. As we started to see its development, that double sentinel, really important on that part.
True, but actually, I think if BBL, already with 5 rounds secured, heading into the attack, with how they like to play, can find ways to contain Heretics and get into post-plant.
Yeah.
All of the issues that they had on Breeze at playing out those situations are rectified with the utility gap.
Yeah, well, Heretics can come straight in with 4 big ultimates, and this is looking like a quick round.
Trying to just go for that fast B pop. Boo in towards the button. He's the one that gets denied early. Kreven unleashed, finding 2, taken through the smoke. Everyone here on the BBL side with a wraparound from Loiter in mid as well, but it is left unrequired. Back-to-back in-zone flawless rounds as they start to go through the motions.
That could be one of the quickest rounds we've had in EMEA. In fact, I think the quickest one was against Heretics last year.
Yeah, no, it was Ascent, if I remember correctly. We Liquid Fnatic, it was on B, but it was actually a tiles crunch from Liquid. We can get Captain Cow on the stats, he can fire it up and tell us which one it was exactly. But the fact of the matter is, BBL are reacting very quickly. They're calling these over rotations, but it's fine because Heretics are one-dimensional on the attack.
Yeah.
Again, this was an issue the other day as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, they were doing the right thing in terms of playing it slow, taking their time, but they weren't finding the utility that they needed to. Right now, that drone expended early is a massive win for Heretics now. A chance to create question marks and force BBL to put bodies on the line for that, and that's what you want when you've got pistols, right? You can kind of death ball and overpower one player.
With Heretics on the pistols and this blades you were talking about, we are just looking to try and find that first pick, and I think that's been the biggest problem point for them so far, getting a clean entry onto one of these sites where BBL are playing from. And with this being the first time we see Ascent for both teams, previously Masters teams in the past, you know.
Oh, look at Midhazer.
Yeah, there is a bit of a gap here for Heretics. They have created this pressure, but it's just opened up more lanes. It doesn't confirm any signs of intent for now.
Left.
B is where they're going to finish, though. Boo playing from main.
And Lovers Rock already caught the spike as they start to poke and prod that B site. And just as you thought Caution maybe opened up the A lane, the blades have missed. The ops firing off. Time is getting low. And with, I mean, you're seeing ultimates thrown into the mix. Is there a chance now for a Team Heretics in a 2v2?
Has to get that plant in first. Lovers Rock out on site to just remove the deficit. Kosh ult's run out.
Yeah, but he has the rifle instead. Hits the head. One more to find. It's on to Loiter. And he's playing from lane. So confident, so diligent, and has so much confidence even after that last map.
Yeah, BBL have their confidence back. Larrock letting them know. And so that is a 7th round now secured. This defender's side going from strength to strength, and building on what I was saying before, you know, with these both being teams that have international events in their recent history, BBL the more recent, that was disgusting from Lovers Rock. Ascent is going to be a key part of the map pool, and from any kind of lower run, even if we're to scale it back a little bit and entertain that they run the gauntlet with how stacked it is. Something, yeah, you've just got to keep in the back of your heads, and yeah, Heretics will call their Ascent has been a great EMEA map in the past, so surely by that notion, by that logic, we get a little bit better here.
Yeah, it's been a great EMEA map in the past, Hazard, but we're still yet to have a trophy for a fair number of years.
You're always quick to remind that, man. Whose side are we on here?
That's true, that's true.
Yeah,
Own goal.
it is. Heretics need to start shooting, because they've only got a round, and oh, this is a brilliant combination. Net comes in, Rose with the Hunter's Fury, catches a couple tags, Larrock finishes one of them off, and this is the gun round brought back down to the ground.
Benji, the one furthest forward, as
Yeah.
players start to move. Could he find a way to win this round? I mean, it has to be all on him, right?
This is a concession that BBL have shown they are very happy to make, and at this late stage now, you're anticipating that being one of the points of resistance. Lover's Rock's already arrived with the operator here too. And with both the Omen and Sova already heard here in main, you're expecting that Cypher to be market, process of elimination. Everybody ready to receive this one now on the BBL side. Couple players playing from sight, a little bit of a gap there, and actually Benji is able to exploit it, leaving only Rose in the CT position. But I don't think the Spike has enough time for rotation, and with Loiter cutting off that arm as well, Benji gets another. They have to fight their way through these last couple players. That rotation doesn't feel feasible right now.
But you have to head into the Cypher setup.
There is Kreven. Finds the kill, which might just make the difference. Omen out into the backside just to hound down Heretics here. Benji, another. 2 more targets, both of them here. 5 seconds, has to find them. Boo gets the first. It's down to a matter of getting the spike in, and they have done. 1v1. Clutch Captain versus Clutch King. And BBL the ones wearing the crown right now.
It feels like prime Loiter that we're getting on Ascent. Of course it's him you have to go up against. And the best chance you feel for Heretics in what has been a long time. Sure, it's chaotic, I understand that.
It was a 3v5 too.
Yeah.
It was a really great set piece straight out of the timeout from BBL to identify A main as an area which they needed to challenge early. Ascent is a map often defined by your reactions as the defender side, and with the amount of space they've been giving away in middle, main control, those extremities, all the more important, and there you have it, 8 in a row. I mean, I know we saw map picks traded yesterday with Foot and Eternal Fire, but it's been very dominant on both of these so far.
It has. Can't forget about the Turkish Ascent as well that we've not mentioned. I mean, that just goes to show exactly the prowess that these teams can have. Caution Benji combining on towards A. This is Loiter's site as well. And in terms of a site anchor, this is not the man you want to face. Not at all. Rose waiting for his chance. B gives it away, gives the game up. Loiter can't connect. And that spike goes down. Team Heretics with a chance to get their second round in this first half. On the 10th round of all. And they'll get it. So, a chance to fight back into this half, Azza.
Yeah, no, there absolutely is. I think it's still attack side Ascent, whichever way you flip it. Remains to be seen how BBL are going to look on that second half, despite the feeling that they should be well equipped to deal with it. This round, a point, was also a 3 versus 5, but just the opposite way. Heretics doing a lot better to manufacture those openings this time. And just keeping BBL honest, they can't get too far ahead of themselves. There's been a constant theme of them failing to close out maps, so I think these next couple of rounds are more than well worth fighting for.
Oh, just a pixel scene, boost spam.
Yeah, it's a brilliant read on this position in market again.
And that's massive, right? At the same time, Loiter's reacted. He's taken the A main space, and look at BBL. They're happy to go try and reinforce B, but it's just Kreven all alone. Rifle that's going to find a kill, and that's it. So now you can see the spike head onto site, and we can get into post.
Great flick from Wu. Loiter has a TP to get past the trap here. I think the player in audible range would be Rians.
Yeah, but look at the money.
And so they are going to throw in the towel here, which means there will be 1 round left to fight for. Heretics with their 3rd queued up here. All but a formality at this point in time as BBL look to try and play exits.
I think that's what LaRock's looking for, the operator.
Cairo, it's rounds like this, though, that make you feel that Heretics have sort of considered and read into what it was the desk were talking about, that BBL are still relying upon maybe the strat book, which feels dated at points.
Yeah, it feels dated, right? But if you're arguing that, then you feel as if with a double Sentinel Loiter for a couple here, only gets 1 though in the end, and LaRock... Yeah, LaRock only getting 1. But I agree, to a point I'd agree, right? Yeah, it feels as if Heretics are prepared for that, but then you should have been prepared for what is essentially the last comp that BBL played, the only difference being that it was a Yoru instead of a Jet.
No getting out of that one for Rose. Heretics starting to understand it a little bit better here, the picture becoming clearer for them. Comes at the tail end of the half. It was the timeout required really to set them back on track. Final opportunity. Op is out for Lovers Rock in mid, and BBL want to fight this.
Looks like
Heavy with the Odin.
Yeah, I mean, oh, the last scan is what betrays Koshmaris. Still down mid are Heretics here. Through Woot of all.
It's Koshmaris that struggled to create that space for them so far, and well, with Woot cornered, is there utility damage here? Yeah, Rose has both shots.
Yeah, and a good paranoia. With that last scan, he will get Woot as well. It's Benji once again to be the man to unlock potentially the B site.
There's currently another 3 versus 5 for Heretics. It really has to be Benji here. Kreven is sitting idle on this one, and Rose goes peeking solo. Still Benji doesn't know about the Cypher player, thinks about it now, finds Kreven with 1 HP to spare. Back to an even standing. Heretics win the foot race, a real chance to pile on the hurt.
Yeah, Lovers Rock is here, but with that door closed, it's going to be an issue getting back into sight. Spike down into post, and Boo still has a full kit.
Oh, Loiter's TP'd in behind. Boo hasn't heard it. That's a huge opportunity for BBL to get back on side. Benji, unlucky not to find any more there. With the HP he had, you're really hitting and hoping. Rians to bail them out of a bad situation, as he so often does. But not this time around. That 9th, so important for BBL to confirm the advantage in full.
It's a massive recovery for BBL in the second map, right? You consider that first map, it was a complete domination. But with that being said, with the second half on the horizon, you've got to be wondering what the fans are thinking about this one as well, Hazard.
Enemy tag.
They definitely do. Might just be going through it at the moment. We'll have to see how they're hanging on with this interview.
Fans here, Ilya, Esat, thanks to both for joining me. It was a 9-3 half. Heretics 1 map up though. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling still confident. We know Ascent is a very defended map. And also they play well. We see outside Breeze, they played very well. So I think
6 rounds can very quickly be swallowed up. I think that starts with the pistol though.
Yeah, it does. It feels like you think about it, pistol round, anti-eco, and then if that bonus looks scary, it goes from 6 to 3 very quickly.
It's the bonus that we've got to be thinking about, but
yeah, a long way away from that just now.
First on the checklist is round 13 for Heretics. Playing their defense in mid, expecting that kind of a push. It leaves only Benji towards A right now.
Yeah, but if he can fight his way forward, get rid of Loiter, but that kill in mid is huge. That might force BBL's hands here as Benji goes back towards the side. Can't quite grab Rose, and he needs to be careful of behind. Still grabs Lovers Rock somehow and keeps Heretics in an advantage.
Woot so quick on that trade, and Heretics actually want to flood back in here if they can. They're without Rians though, and they might just be waiting on that dart.
I mean, it's good if you do that, right? There's only 2 players.
Larrock still has net, and I think that could be the difference maker here.
Nah, look at the numbers. All 4 playing together. That net, if it finds value right now.
All 3?
Oh, no, apart from Kosh in towards sight.
Yeah, so he's cut off solo.
And it's a complete freebie. So only 1 in front. Larrock with a chance to clutch. Oh! Hazza, I felt that one go. I seen it happening. But Heretics get the pistol round by the skin of their teeth.
It is a whisker away. Larrock with 2 instant headshots. The net enough to keep Kosh away from the rest of the team on this retake. Woot dashing into tree just to find a player on the way through. Brilliant individual display of skill there, but look, Heretics have the round that they require. And now you're just looking at keeping this anti-eco clean.
Coaching staff of BBL looking a lot happier.
There.
Ooh, Kosh, we peeking this?
I don't think so, mate.
Don't need to.
Yeah. Hey, fantastic work. Still want to go through mid BBL.
I like this setup from Heretics as well. 2 on either side, 1 through the middle.
Yeah.
One of the best teams at anti-ecos at the moment have been Crew, and it's a similar setup to what we see from them. You've now got the support of Boo as well for this judge if it were to get lost.
Yeah, but as a judge, they're heading into... Oh, okay. Manages to get out of that one.
Still on thin ice here is Wu.
Yeah, but they managed to keep the judge away from the hands of BBL, which is massive. Kosh needs to be careful as he exits the site. So Heretic's still in an advantage here.
Damage onto Loiter as well. That shot just floating around, doesn't find anything, and Rose with this deep drone, unable to claim a tag. Plant coming through, but Heretic's already taking up position, ready for this retake.
That's the massive point. That door just closing in their face, but as Loiter does close it, he'll be closed out of this round. Overall, it should be easy enough for Heretics to come back through. You were hoping that BBL could perhaps make this one a little bit more competitive, but in the end, it ends up being a formality. So with only one player lost, we look at that bonus round being pretty scary.
Yeah, it certainly is, and something of interest to me, actually, looking at the scoreboard here as well, is as much as we were talking about, like, BBL having individuals, anyone can step up. It's actually Rose so far that's been the one doing that, and I think that kind of leans into this being such a fundamental map for the calling to maybe be a little bit more lax for him in terms of what those responses, what those reactions were on the defender's side. It's now the attack where we've got to be putting it under the microscope. Bedlam in tree, and with Heretics keeping that one clean enough, this is the bonus that we were waiting for.
Looks like a set exec with the utility being prepped by Rose. At least able to take the main space.
Yeah, it was Larok trying to net off of the reveal there, and actually gets baited out by Boo's TP. Nice work, but Annihilation online. And when you're playing this attack with double Senti, sometimes you just need one of them to get let off the leash and go take that first fight. And I think Larok, with the ult now, is the primary suspect.
Yeah, they've pulled one player across Heretics to bolster that A site, try and clear out with the drone. And this is going to be big information overall for Heretics in terms of where the rotate goes. They know that this main space should be clear.
And just as I highlighted, they've also got Kosh Maris in B main. Judge prepared, any more than one is absolutely huge. Drone timing just baits him in. Lover's Rock finds the opener, and it's all eyes on Benji.
It's been good so far.
But is it going to be what is required here? Bulldog already getting to work. Not just bark, but bite. Swaps out to the Phantom, trying to feel for more, but the paranoia just carries on a little longer than the cage would have hoped to. Kreven cutting them off as the supply line is in short supply now. Rian's the final remaining player, and BBL have denied the bonus here, or so you would think.
I mean, with 45 points of health, you would expect that to be the case.
I mean, one more kill here for Rian's is fantastic damage, so he has to be looking for exits, and the positioning suggestive of it. Trying to walk back in. Reveal comes up in 3 seconds, and that could be huge as BBL are making their way back out, but he wants to play the quiet game.
Embeds himself. One kill, as you said.
Tucked in the corner. BBL need to have the awareness for this, and Larok is on it. Bullseye to Rian's, and with double digits in the bag, just a few more that BBL require, but when you look at the round timeline, that is the one that you assume they're able to take.
You would hope so, right? Especially with Larok getting the ultimate online as well. The fact that they've had to use that to unlock the site, I think goes to show the capabilities that Heretics have on defense. But it's a one round, they're into the next one. And this is where we get the magnifying glasses out and have a real look at this. And now Kosh Maris is going to bring out his glass cannon operator through mid.
One of the two you're looking towards on the Heretic side right now, with him and Benji most involved.
Same utility that we've seen in A main, and Kosh goes looking, gets the kill.
Fantastic opening pick. In fact, Kosh left behind in middle here. Heretics on the reclear of B main. This all points towards an A execution. BBL heading there at breakneck speed.
Repositioned perfectly, even getting a kill from it. Can he get a second? Yes, he can. So advantage that Heretics can work from, and that's why they reset.
Oh, this is a tag onto Larok, surely. Kosh Maris queuing up.
Should be easy as pressing the trigger. It certainly is, and now Larok identified. Heretics win out. BBL has they're really struggling when they don't have these ultimates.
Yeah, look, that round was another of the classic BBL 4-1 macros where put one player towards one side of the map, see what you can find, and then
Yeah.
send the rest there. Sometimes it's Rose, sometimes it's Kreven, but it's this blind all-in that is dealt with so handily by Heretics.
I agree.
Let's go, guys. Come on.
The thing about that is that BBL have dealt with people trying to kind of isolate that one in the 4 towards A to try and, I guess, stop that A main utility, or at least stop A main being in the hands of BBL, because that's quite a few times they've got it for free with no contest.
Wu actually just fully confident in himself here. Tucked to the corner, trying to get Benji to break the spy cam for him as Koshmaris is taking this 1v1 in main with the judge. Loiter up above him, and so actually drops back with the help of Boo to try and marshal the situation.
Paranoia, Koshmaris just sending it through. Player's still not got him as he still fires off bullets, but Boo now all alone on site and no
So
way
much
out.
damage.
Yep, player's bruised, and that's why Boo's going to capitalise. That spike's on the ground, and BBL still moving forward. Warner's rock, he's low, but still able to get the kill with the stinger, and Rose through heaven. A 1 versus 2 for Woot with just an operator.
Yeah, he wants that rifle.
Spike
34 combined HP here. A pistol would probably do the trick.
Certainly would, but does he know that? Does he want to gamble on that? Certainly not. That's why the Phantom's picked up. Faster fire rate, better at close range. Classic out, it works out. So on towards the spike does he go, but Rose playing for Shock Dart, playing for the Hunter's Fury.
Open plant.
But with the time, Hazard, that's the point. That's why he's brought closer. Tap of the spike. Woot doesn't know exactly where the Sova has gone. As he peeks through, he wins out. A 4K for the captain brings BBL that step closer to the finish line.
Wu able to get off a couple of shots there. Only needed one, but none of them hit. Rose wins it, skin of his teeth, but BBL have their 11th, and, well, Heretics, even with the better buy, unable to win this one. Kosh all in on that tree play. Boo sat back in sight. I think it was Arians on the spam through that dealt so much damage to them there. And as you see, one shot would have been enough, but that's such a key round going against them here.
And towards a main, not identifying Kosh, at least gives him a kill. It's on to Loiter of all players. No smoke on towards that cross. Oh, finally, or did go down before he got taken out. So that's at least save BBL at this moment in time.
Yeah, Boo missing blind, but Rian still with a dart here. BBL trying to interrupt the retake.
Yeah, trying to. That's the key point, as Rien's already sends it towards heaven. Oh, that's a cheeky Sonic center as the players try to get out, working against him. There's even a Joker card in Rose as he peeks out so early. Gives it to Heretics. An advantage in which the retake can work. All they need to do is trade down. Brilliant shots, and they're gonna win out.
Unbelievable.
4 rounds is the gap between these two, Hazard.
What a shot from Wu. He didn't need to get one there. He was literally the distraction flying across the face of BBL to play in the rest of this retake. Initial duel goes their way, but the blades do not lie. Oh, it's nasty.
Great work overall.
It's like the double duelist, the traditional double duelist, which we saw Heretics playing before, back when they were Yoru Jet on this map last year.
Yeah.
It was always one of the two dashing across and creating that space for the next, and that's what they did there.
From Breeze in towards Ascent, 4 retakes, 4 defuses for Heretics. Nearly a 5th considering Woot's clutch attempt. Just unlucky. Kosh not getting that entry kill. Woot now gets the indirect trade, so there goes Kreven.
And a quick spot in middle too. Face check to just confirm. BBL are not interested in this area of the map right now. A rumbling going on in A main, and Boo playing off site to defend it.
Oh, Woot's still getting away with one himself. So again, Heretics managing to take an advantage into post plan.
Hunter's Fury even in, just that safe pair of hands from Rians. Finds the opposite number. No second tag, but this 4 versus 2 is just ushering Heretics towards an 8th round.
Yeah, Lover's Rot being given the rifle so that Loiter can try and attempt that spike plant. It will come through. Now Heretics ready to retake in a 4 versus 2.
Woot no dash this time, and they are playing off the dart and perhaps the paranoia here. It's the updraft that we get instead.
Yeah, and that paranoia has hit, but Heretics slow in the roll in towards site. Finally, they will collapse. So one step closer.
And I think it's kind of this lack of gap close on the BBL side, which is most poignant for me, because past Lover's Rock, dashing onto site, everyone else is at this slow crawl. And it's a couple of times now where we're seeing them just get completely melted, whether it's spam through smoke or, you know, the odd outlaw shot here and there. Heretics happy to play into that. Didn't quite catch that.
Nope. Sorry, Kosh. But with that being said, again, it's these retakes that are working out for Heretics, and I think that's going to be a key point coming away from this game. Should BBL lose it, the fact that they got to post.
And even just cast your minds back to that ongoing conversation. Can they close the map for the confidence that could provide? Wu in the net, looks for one, gets two, and gets out with his life as well. Wu sharp as ever. And BBL blunted in this one. The blade dulled.
Yeah. Players low. Sure, you've got your ultimates, but you need to make sure you hit them.
They're just looking for something to move the needle. And considering the positions right now, I want to see those player cams, because BBL must be in deep conversation. Maybe not Larrock, he is pretty talkative. Let's have a look. There's Rose, yep. Just calling out the orders to the rest of his team. How do we approach these next few rounds? What can we take away from what we just saw in A main and apply that to the future so it doesn't happen again?
Yeah. And we've seen it time and time again, right? Rose being the one to general his team in what felt like a band of brothers.
I think he's the one player of all the teams we cast where you can hear him calling mid-round from the stage, even with fans in the arena. Yeah. Like, he's not low on the decibels, that's for sure. Koshmaris just confirming that A main is clear. I think by now, Heretics should know not only the orb is free, but BBL are full saving in spawn.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been a minute of saving.
Left.
And it's a minute that Heretics will also have used to now think about, okay, what can we do to actually make this replicable? Are we going for these set pieces, or is it just a one-off?
So with that, again, within two, Heretics have made a real damaging blow to the lead of BBL. And it feels as if it's the fact that it always, in these retakes or whatever, Heretics are grabbing one, getting out. This is ridiculous from Wu.
10 seconds.
So, with that, Koshmaris takes up his position in mid. And BBL look to make this a quick round.
Yeah, I mean, they have player presence on B. Loiter has the ultimate to join up if he needs to, so this presence on A is just making noise to drag the attention of Heretics. They haven't bought into it at all.
Oh yeah,
They're hunting down Kreven again.
Yeah, he wants this one, but the trade is there, so maybe that gives up the jig. Have BBL been caught?
And honestly, at this point, with how Kosh has been in some of these, one kill is the status quo, and if you take Kreven offline, you remove the backline, you force BBL maybe into a bit more of an uncomfortable decision in the mid-round.
I agree, but there's no mid-presence for Heretics right now.
But BBL don't know that, and I think that's the biggest issue. The map grows smaller and smaller for them.
Cover going out.
As Heretics play coupled up on either site, it is Woot they're walking into once again.
We've seen him with magic. Although we were going to see the annihilation come through, it doesn't actually hit. And now Boo from the corner, cleared through. BBL into post. Surely they don't bottle this one.
You would think not. 4 versus 2 situation. Benji has the trapping tree, so knows that they haven't advanced this post plant any further, and you wouldn't expect it. Deadlock still in play, both sensors up with the net available.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, right? With the double sentinel, you'd expect BBL to have strong post plants. But Benji Fishy already out. Brothers Rock is the one to get the next one. So it's a Benji 1 versus 4. He's already got the first here.
I don't think he expects that second Hell player, though.
Oh, he wants to clear it. At least get close. You can see the grab net being used. What a shot!
Okay,
Blinding, blistering. But knows it's at least a jet in main. That was already known, and Lovers Rock will make no mistakes. Up to 12 for BBL. They might have made his weight, but Hazard, they're finally ready to take this map.
Just based off of the track record, Heretics can bring this down to the wire, but this round in particular, punishing both of the duelists, trying to make something happen and push that envelope. Sort of slow play, which we've not seen from them before. What a shot from Lovers Rock at the end there, but even Benji doing well to clear out close. No intervention from the coaches. Op v op in middle. Kosh has really struggled on these so far, and he is, at the very least, forgiven by Lovers Rock here.
Yeah, but reposition towards short, being dynamic with the operator placement. That's going to make BBL think, if they even get a chance to think before the shot gets pulled.
Cypher set up on B. Benji playing up close, and Rian's trying to go off it. It's these two players on the hold, which was so good when Heretics were dominating on this map in previous years gone by.
Has BBL really been successful on this B site, though?
It's one which they haven't often tried, but very quickly it is revealed what their intentions are. Rians didn't have the gun up, but when he does, still ends up going down. Benji to try and fight in his place. Boo has arrived with a TP of his own. The cage can hold them off for a little bit, but that stall out won't be long enough. Rotation's still in motion, but Boo has found the kill that he needs.
Kosh is going around the long way, he's in main.
And BBL just haven't made progress on this site here. No further than being out on Switch. Rose has the dart back up to try and instigate this again, but they've got to start looking elsewhere, and this is where Woot can look to cut them off. Cage coming in, they actually want to run Woot, what is that? Shot after shot, blind in the dark, it doesn't matter, he will still get it done. Heretics having a time of it in some of these, but BBL still just need one. And if not for the heroics of some of those players, that might have been it.
That was ridiculous. Nicely done overall from Benji Fishy, right to get the information. And you can see the game plan in play. Kosh going for that flank, Woot taking up mid, should there be an escape.
He spams through smokes as well that I mentioned, but as I said, Blades in play.
This goes here. Oh, this is
Blades in play for either side, right? With the operator, he can change up how he wants to go. Lovers Rock looking to get in your face, and with a heavy shield bought up, you'd expect that. Heretics quick to take B main.
Yeah, they just set the op up here. They've got Benji shouldering it for a little bit of info.
Pings to Kosh's position.
The camera is in mid, and that's the reason why, because just alerting here that BBL starting to make inroads on A. Spike still heading elsewhere. This just a little bit of pressure to drag a rotation. Rians is the one that they're able to catch.
There they are, but that's a big drone, big information. Rians can't get the kill.
And BBL now starting to backtrack.
This is a nicely called round by Rose.
It's that mid control that makes all the difference, but it's the reaction that I'm looking at on the Heretic side right now. B main's been cleared out. You've got a deep line for Woot. Benji can rotate. They should have an understanding that if it's not a B split, which they're now starting to re-clear for the second point in the round, it's A.
Yeah, so Boo just misses out though, Hazard. So overall, it'll be a 5 versus 5 post plant. 5 alive for either team.
Here.
When it starts to get scrappy, that's when you begin to favor BBL here a little bit in this post with the utility that they have.
Yeah, exactly, and Heretics have no utility to come back in with. That's going to be an issue, but Rians did just get his info dart.
Couple of players spotted on the other side of the valence of this retake, but it's the main where Heretics are looking to converge in. Kosh can't collect those first couple of shots, doesn't land. Woot on the blades, dynamic as ever though, able to trade it right back out. 2 players in the smoke, 2 players taken down by Woot. And for BBL only needing one more round, Heretics is the same. An equalizer to bring it to OT. A 9-3 half, may I remind you. And once more, the Turkish team not getting the closure that they're looking for.
When Woot starts to play like this, it feels like there's nobody on the other side that can beat him, and an Angel straight up. Unbelievable stuff. Kills that should never have been gotten. And that's why Heretics are within 1 against BBL here on Ascent.
Great mid-rounding from Heretics.
6 out of 8 of these rounds have been retakes.
They weren't quick enough to get the bodies there to actually shut out the site execution, but all of the right ideas taken. Benji's already got an early cam. It's the same thing I was talking about again. The line control, which Woot is receiving in B main at this point in time. But full focus on Kosh with the judge.
Yeah, tries to play in front. The judge not getting a kill, goes for it and gets a double. 2-for-1 deal, you'll take that. And BBL, they don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
And towards Woot, who has not missed a beat so far. Operator ready to go, but I mean the players are again second guessing themselves.
Just waiting it out. It's the first time we actually see the barrier mesh used to cut off a rotation, but all 3 of those Heretics players are already on the A side.
Loiter's left alone here.
He knows about it.
Yeah, I mean, only one player, the Omen, right? The spike heading elsewhere.
Yeah.
Still Woot's not moved.
And for that reason, he's the one we've got to be watching.
Well, he gets found out. And that's going to allow BBL in towards the site to get that post plan. And now Loiter becomes a real issue because where has he gone and where can he go?
Spike planted.
NG winning out against Kevin is a disaster as well because it leaves now Rock all alone.
I mean, Rians is so far away from this right now. Heretics might have liked a quick retake, but they can't just because their Sova player with his dart is on the other side of the map.
Yeah, taking his time, didn't want to get caught off guard. Finally here and now. Brings through the info dart towards site, setting up the players. It's actually
great
caught the
reveal.
Rock. And it's Loiter from main now that they need to be careful of. Boo able to get the lone site player. So Benji holds main and sends Heretics to overtime.
Heretics so aware of what BBL were trying to do and efficient in the end. A prolonged amount of time it took for Rians to arrive, but Kosh dealing damage through the wall here meant that those 2 kills with that final shot were enough. Heading into overtime, and as we saw Vitality take a 2-0 through OT yesterday, Heretics will be hoping it's the same.
With the momentum at your back, you would feel as if it is. It comes down to kind of a similar storyline to what we had on Haven yesterday, in a sense of whoever cracks this attack round is probably going to be the one to win overtime.
Look, if Heretics can get out of this, that's form into the Fnatic game. The next on this vein of the bracket as well, because if they'd lost here on Ascent, which they still very well may do, could be an issue, but we've seen the mental tenacity from them up until this point. It's about shutting it out where BBL have had opportunities to do so.
2 shocks, 1 trip gone. That was towards lane, should they want to go for it. Benji Fishy on the attack was a real problem for BBL, and looks to be once again taking up the mid space.
Yeah, he's just going to sit under Arch right now.
I think
Signpost some Heretics authority.
I think he's genuinely the win condition for this attack.
Yeah, he's the pivot point right now, because as long as he's just bookmarking market control, Heretics understand they can play back here late round. They just need to apply a bit of pressure and sort of figure out where this strong side is. Couple of those bodies moving in A main, Lovers Rock op, able to pick up Boo.
Yeah, and Heretics now, their hands forced hazard. They have to exec here.
Into Rose with the support of a smoke. Kreven has the setup, and immediately the captain claims off the back of the trap. The first attack round for Heretics not looking the best so far. Final 3 members looking to siege the site, and Benji's found the first into the CT position. Woot following up, all on Kreven. Benji gets another. Could this really be falling apart? It is 2v1. And Loiter has to be the one to get it done.
Taking his time coming back in, though. At least he has a smoke to dice things up.
Try and cut off that player Boathouse. Woot and Rians moving through the map together, the site itself. Headshot through the wall, and now Loiter detected. No util belt to make it happen, and the 3v5 confirmed. Heretics get through that attack round at the first time of asking, and have the first opportunity to close the map where BBL couldn't take theirs.
Obviously, to remind you, as we head into overtime, each coach gets 1 timeout back. And straight away, Key's going to use his. Not happy with this Maybe there's a little bit of tilt on the BBL side as well, Hazza, considering the lead that they had in that first half.
Nice! Let's go! Let's go! Nice! Come on! Come on!
They might attack pulse here. Yeah.
Well read from Weber and Neil, just preparing themselves for what they'll then say to their own players. Elimination on the line. The kickoff champs about to be usurped by one of the old guard in EMEA. A serious passing of the torch, it's fair to say. Back to the old from the new.
Here.
Still representation in the upper bracket, but E-main taken early. There's only one place you can see BBL going.
Yeah, it feels so easy to read for Heretics. And that's why they've put bodies on the line for this. Same time though, we've seen this from BBL. They want to try and take space early, create a bit of pressure. And at the end of the day, it amounts to nothing.
Ooh, it's only Kreven spotted in tiles, and actually, his position before would lead Heretics to believe that this was an A-take, based on what we'd seen in the past. Still keeping 3 players strong on B.
You can see Kreven's even placed a trap for any tiles push that Heretics would have wanted to do.
Yeah.
Scared of it.
I mean, A, the easier of the retakes for them though, so in this situation, it's a slow creep from BBL again with Boo in heaven, tucked away. Recon a little premature from Rian's in its support.
Boo looking to play off of the trap that Benji had gifted him earlier, but Lovers Rock is in. Koshmaris has dived forward, but it's Boo at least to trade out. So 4-on-4, you'll take that if you're Heretics.
Yeah, but because Koshmaris is doing this every single time, it's one less player they have to close that distance in retake. Lovers Rock pushing right up to their own faces at the same time.
I agree, but that's Larocque gone. That's your deadlock gone.
So just reliant on the player's sight for now. One final stand for BBL.
Looking to break down the door, break down the hopes and chances of BBL. It's Kreven who's been the highlight for stage 1 individually. But as a team, BBL have left a lot to be desired. It's Heretics to bounce back from the heartbreak of the upper bracket.
That shared dream from Santiago shattered as the lower bracket